Hello and welcome to School Health Presents Talkin' Tech with Dr. Ray. In this video, we're going to focus on two items that are normally designated as fidgets. Yet, when we take a look and see that those can be used in so many different ways, we see applications for them in therapy sessions, in reading practice, and even in classroom, workplace, and home situations where attention needs to be paid. And so the two items we're talking about first are the bracelet size of Chewlery, and second, the Tangle Junior. Why am I talking about these two items as a way of sensory release? We want to think about it this way. We recognize that the idea of Chewlery was to actually have something that an individual who had that bite reflex could actually chew on, whether it be the necklace or a bracelet. What we've seen with bracelets over the course of time, though, is that they can be used for so many different things. We've even seen some psychological experiments where individuals might have something like a rubber band, so something a lot more strenuous than this, on their wrist, giving them cueing when they are making mistakes or need to have attention repaid. That's for neurotypical adults. I definitely don't recommend rubber bands on any of our students' hands for something like that. But the nice thing about Chewlery is that it actually does allow for that sensory release. Sometimes we do need to, in essence, fidget while we're paying attention. Remember what fidgeting oftentimes is. It's that release of kinetic energy. Right now, I'm doing it in front of you. Those of you who've seen me before know I can't stand in one place. I'm a kinetic presenter, I'm a kinetic learner, and so I need to have that motion going on. And if it's something like this, that's a video or a lecture, my hands will be moving, my legs will be moving, I might cross my legs, I might have a pen in my hand. This actually offers the same opportunity for some of our individuals where they could be focused on what's going on and still doing some playing, whether it be under a desk like I've got right now, or at least just kind of moving things around in their hands. And yet we're still not making any noise. We're not really distracting anyone else there. So it is socially and classroom appropriate. I know some people ask me, well, wait a minute, does a male actually wear something like this? Thinking in a very gender specific mindset. Here's the reality of what goes on today. Something like this is like a friendship bracelet, is like any other type of item that any individual can put on their wrist. And so we want to keep that in a mindset. Heck, back in the 1980s, gaskets were a big thing. And those of you who actually are of age to remember that, remember we used to color code gaskets for various things that we were doing. The other item I want to talk about is the Tangle Junior. I happen to have a discussion with a colleague who actually had been in education for many years, now is off working with individuals, both neurotypical and those individuals with exceptionalities on her own. And she always told me that her favorite thing to use was the Tangle Junior. Why? Because again, it was small. An individual could do something like wear it as a bracelet and they could still fidget with it. One of the great things that I saw an individual actually use, it was a young man a couple of years back. He had it set like this. And I asked him, I said, why do you have it like that? Because I saw that sometimes he'd grab onto it or play with it in his hand, but he always moved it back to this position just before he was done. And he explained to me that his teachers and therapists had told him it was like Iron Man's glove. You know, Iron Man has the little repulsor rays that come out, and that he had power, and the power within this wasn't to repulse things, but was to let his mind focus. What a great way of putting that. So now when you've got that individual who maybe does need to pay more attention, even if it's just reading a text, sometimes again, because of the way a text is, we need to have that kinesthetic movement going on, not just turning pages, but something else happening. So consider using a Tangle Junior or the bracelet size of Chewlery for that device that allows for sensory release and allows that individual to have greater attention focused through the eyes and the ears. As always, I thank you for all that you do out there, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road.